Have you read a story in the Draoithe Saga and come away with a classic case of immersion after effect? Let me guess, there are questions which remain unanswered even as the magic expanded, adding another layer to the dream. The grand desire to turn the page to discover what happened next ended with the last leaf turned. If you're asking where the remedy for the book hangover is, you know the answer: read another story. But you aren't ready for the next tale, not yet. The dust needs to settle before you pick up the next volume. So you have found your way here. You aren't alone. Even the author can't get enough. As you hear this, Ophelia Key writes on. But allow me to offer you a possibility, a reflection on the tale you recently finished, and a way to revisit the story to ease the story blues. Welcome to the Draoithe Saga After Party. Warning, spoiler alerts ahead. Turn back now if you wish to read the story blind.
Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever imagined a world where, myths and legends aren't just stories, where they actually walk among us, tangled up in this huge fight to restore balance? Today, we're diving into a pretty fascinating universe from author Ophelia Key's Grim Dark. It's the opening tale of her Mystic Dark miniseries, which itself is part of the, sprawling Draoithe Saga.
Yeah, and what's really compelling right off the bat, I think, is just the sheer scope. Ophelia Key calls it a modern saga.
Right.
So you get this long, dramatic history, but it's told through the eyes of the people actually living it, We're looking at excerpts that introduce us to the dream, this world where magic is seriously out of whack.
Out of whack, yeah.
And the whole point of the Draoithe Saga, its mission really, is to fix that, to restore the balance. But it does it one couple, one sort of heroic achievement at a time, often very personal, very intimate stories within this epic frame.
Intimate's a good word for it.
Definitely. And just a heads up for you listening, this world is described as steamy hot, wickedly delicious. It's absolutely intended for a mature audience. We're talking adult themes, fantasy violence, and some pretty explicit situations.
Right, good heads up. It truly is a world where you've got fated mates, really powerful magic, ancient prophecies, and they all collide, often in ways you just don't see coming. We'll be focusing on two main characters, Sinclair and Lyella, and this surprising new mission that really impacts the whole magical dream.
So this world, Draoithe, it exists within the dream. It's this reality where, like you said, myths, legends, fairy tales, they're real. A lot of the action, initially anyway, happens in this kind of magical realist version of Tyler, Texas, set around 2016 in their world.
A magical Tyler, Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are other kingdoms, other realms that interact with this central druid pack, and the core conflict, the engine driving everything, is this constant struggle to restore magical balance.
And that balance, it's not just about having enough magic, is it? It's something more.
Exactly. It's about purity, control. When it's out of balance, you get chaos, corruption, dangerous power running wild. And that affects everyone, supernatural beings and humans alike.
That distinction feels important. It's not just a fantasy setting. It's a world facing a real magical crisis. And I think that blend, paranormal romance, urban fantasy, magical realism, it really works, makes it immersive. Plus, the author breaking it down into miniseries like Mystic Dark, that makes this huge saga feel, less daunting to jump into.
Yeah, definitely more accessible.
And we can't forget the steamy, hot, wickedly delicious part you mentioned. That mature warning is definitely earned.
No question.
Okay, so let's turn to Sinclair Gautier. He's a Gryphon Knight. And the scene where we meet him, wow, it just grabs you. He's in a terrible state.
Oh, absolutely dire. He's broken from battle, literally on the banks of the River Styx.
The actual River Styx.
The River Styx, he's got a wing just shredded by some kind of acidic slime, and he's face to face with death, with Thanatos.
Jeez. So he's basically at the end of the line. Giving up seems inevitable.
But he doesn't. That's the thing. He flat out refuses to pay the ferryman, refuses to let go of his memories and just sink into oblivion.
Why? What keeps him going?
It's this powerful conviction. He believes he hasn't found everything yet. And that everything is specifically the fated mate he knows exists but hasn't met.
Ah, the fated mate.
Right. So this confrontation with Thanatos, it's more than just a fight. It's like a rebellion against fate itself. He's saying, even here, at the edge of nothingness, the promise of finding his everything is stronger than death.
That's powerful stuff.
And maybe surprisingly, it works. Or at least, the Queen of the Dream steps in somehow to tells Thanatos to let him go.
The Queen of the Dream. We'll need to circle back to her.
Definitely. But Sinclair gets this reprieve. He's rescued by these elvish lords, they call them elders.
Right, the elders. And they take him to asylum.
Yeah, asylum. And it's not just a hospital, is it? It's described as this sanctuary located at a nexus point between realms.
Like the Lean Deal, the spirit world, and others.
Exactly. It's a place for healing broken immortals, humans cursed with magic, people with magical or mental illnesses. It's quite unique.
And the elders running it, they're not presented as gods, which I found interesting. More like
specialist doctors. Yeah. The text says they prefer their medical duties to being treated like gods. It kind of grounds the immense power.
It does. It suggests that even in the dream, great power comes with, well, responsibility.
Yeah.
Skills, not just random godly whims.
But this healing, this miracle, really, it doesn't come free.
No, there's a price. A big one.
100 years of service and fealty to the elvish lords. That's what he pays.
A century of service.
And the recovery itself isn't quick. It takes him 27 years. 27 years just to get his regrown wing fully functional and get back to his peak.
Wow. It really underscores how broken he was.
Yeah.
And the kind of magic involved in fixing him.
Absolutely. It's a long road back.
So while Sinclair is on this incredibly long path to recovery at Asylum, another thread starts, seemingly separate. Lyella Grisham.
Lyella, yeah. A telepathic woman, and her situation is also pretty grim. She's been sold into slavery.
Terrible. But she has this connection to the dream.
A deep one. For her, the dream isn't just fantasy. It's an escape. A refuge for her mind, her spirit, away from her awful reality.
And somehow her dreams connect with Sinclair's while he's recovering.
That's the incredible part. She starts having these vivid telepathic dreams of him. She even manages to, subtly influence his thoughts while he's sleeping.
Whoa, so she realizes he's real.
Eventually, yes. The connection becomes so strong, she knows he's not just a dream figure. And then she does something incredibly desperate, incredibly brave.
What does she do?
To escape her enslavement and find him, she intentionally lets herself get shot with an arrow.
Why?
Because it allows her to use her unique magic, they call it ghosting, a kind of teleportation to get to Asylum, bleeding, delirious, but aiming right for him.
That's an extreme plan, driven by this dream connection.
Utterly extreme, an act of sheer will to find the Gryphon Knight she knows is real.
Which leads us right to their first actual meeting. Sinclair's on watch at Asylum.
Right. He sees her stumble onto the grounds, obviously badly wounded. He swoops down the Gryphon Knight, rescuing her.
And in that moment of rescue, something happens. Something big.
Huge. As he's holding her, trying to stabilize her, his innate electricity flows into her through his talons, and it changes her.
Changes her how?
It inadvertently turns her into a white griffin, like him.
He accidentally turns her into a griffin.
Yeah. It wasn't planned. It was a consequence of the magical energy transfer during the rescue. But it's the moment everything clicks.
Clicks how?
She's his fated mate. She's the everything he refused to die for. This transformation, it's not just, a magical accident. It feels like the culmination of his defiance and her desperate journey.
It ties his refusal of death and her act of will together. Destiny, maybe? But driven by their choices.
Precisely. And it's significant that, according to the narrative, Lyella wanted this. She actively desired to be turned. Yeah, she knew becoming like him, becoming a griffin, was her path to protection, her way to truly be with him. So her allowing herself to be shot, her ghosting to Asylum, it was all aimed at this outcome, even if the final trigger was accidental.
So it wasn't forced upon her. Her own will made the accident acceptable, narratively speaking.
Exactly. It fuses that destiny element with her personal agency. Very powerful.
Okay, so Lyella recovers. She's now a white griffin, Sinclair's mate. What's life like for them at Asylum then?
Things settle into a kind of new normal for a while. They bond, obviously. Lyella has to learn how to control her new form, her griffin abilities, including that electricity.
Right, she'd have the same powers.
Yeah, and Sinclair, he finds a new purpose within Asylum too. He starts training vampires.
Training vampires? Why?
These are vampires who are sort of aimless, recovering from bloodlust, living at Asylum. He turns them into a unit of knights under his command. It shows his leadership expanding.
So a period of growth for both of them. Stability.
For a time, yes. But as Sinclair's 100 years of service starts nearing its end, he begins to think about the future.
The promise he made to the elders is almost fulfilled.
Right. So he's wrestling with options. Does he go back to Gryphon Castle? Does he strike out on his own? or maybe stay at asylum, perhaps as a senior investigator.
He's got choices, but you get the sense something bigger is coming.
You do. It feels like this internal debate is setting the stage. Foreshadowing, really.
And sure enough, the elders step in. They have a new job for him.
A very specific, very important new mission. They task him with finding someone named Leland Shade.
Leland Shade, who is he?
He's identified as the last vampire king, and interestingly, as a thrall's son, which seems significant.
The last vampire king.
And this whole quest is tied directly to something called the Unlikely King's prophecy.
A prophecy, of course. What's it about?
The core of it seems to be that Leland Shade has the potential to alter things, to restore the balance of magic, but...
There's always a but with prophecies.
Right. There's a risk he could become a tyrant instead. So Sinclair's job isn't just to find him, it's to help him, guide him, but also make sure he doesn't become dangerous.
That's a heavy responsibility. Find this potential king, help him save the world, but keep him from destroying it.
Exactly. And Sinclair accepts. He actually forgoes his fealty oath to the elders, negotiates for more flexibility to pursue this mission properly.
And Lyella.
She's right there with him. Chooses to join him on this quest. It really shows how central their partnership is, not just personally, but to these larger events.
Okay, so they accept the mission. Does it take long to find Leland Shade?
Oh, yeah. 50 years.
50?
50 years they spend searching for him. They build a whole life as cover in Baltimore, USA. This is back in 1797.
Baltimore, 1797. What's their cover?
They run a print shop and a newspaper, and Lyella runs an antique bookshop.
An antique bookshop that feels deliberate.
It is. It's explicitly a lure. They figure someone like Leland, described as seeking knowledge, might be drawn to a place like that.
Clever. So after 50 years, does the lure work?
Dramatically so. The climax of the search happens right in Lyella's shop. Leland Shade is there, and he gets attacked by two other vampires.
Attacked? By his own kind?
Seems so. Rogue vampires, maybe? But Sinclair is there. He acts instantly, kills both attackers, saves Leland's life.
Wow. Talk about an introduction. Hi, I'm Sinclair. I just saved you from being murdered by vampires. We need to talk.
Pretty much, it immediately throws them together and sets up this incredibly complex relationship right from the start.
So what is Leland Shade like when they finally meet him properly? Is he this potential tyrant?
Well, the source material paints him as intelligent, definitely thoughtful. He clearly possesses powerful dark magic. But he's also described as lost and unbalanced.
Lost. Okay.
Yeah, and crucially, he's seeking knowledge. He's not portrayed as an outright villain, but he's certainly not a shining hero either. He needs direction.
Which is where Sinclair comes in.
Yeah.
His mission becomes clearer.
Much clearer. Sinclair realizes in that moment, it's not just about being a bodyguard or finding the guy. His role is to be a mentor.
A mentor to the last vampire king.
Exactly. He needs to teach Leland how to use his magic responsibly, how to fight, how to navigate the dangers, including something called the grim dark of the underworld. Basically, how to find an honorable path to become the king he's destined to be without becoming the tyrant the prophecy warns about.
That's a fascinating dynamic. The seasoned Gryphon Knight who fought death itself, now guiding this powerful but lost vampire.
It really is. It moves way beyond just fulfilling a mission for the elders. It becomes this profound relationship built on, well, necessity, but hopefully growing into purpose and trust.
In a personal journey becoming tied to a cosmic one.
And if we zoom out even further, remember the Queen of the Dream, the one who let Sinclair leave the Styx.
Yeah, the white buffalo woman you said.
Right. She seems to be the ultimate authority here. Even death, even the elvish elders, seem to answer to her. And it's implied that her desire is for Leland to avoid that tyrannical destiny. So Sinclair isn't just fulfilling the elders' mission, he's become an agent of the Queen's will. Steering
Leland towards balance, fulfilling the Queen's objective for the entire dream. His knighthood has taken on a whole new meaning.
Absolutely. It's evolved from personal survival and loyalty to being an instrument for universal balance.
And we get hints about Leland's own struggles too, right? From the Kiss Dark excerpt. It's not just about external guidance.
Exactly. Even though he becomes this living legend vampire, he's grappling internally with finding meaning, with the constant need for sustenance, the fight just to exist. It adds a lot of depth. Sinclair isn't just training a magical tower house, he's mentoring someone with deep, complex internal conflicts.
Which makes the mentorship potentially much harder, but also more meaningful.
Definitely. So ultimately, you see how it all connects. Sinclair's fight for his own life, finding Lyella.
Their escape and connection.
It all flows into this much larger conflict. The entire effort to restore balance in the dream seems to hinge, in a big way, on Leland Shade's path. And Sinclair's journey, starting so personally, has expanded to protecting this key figure for the good of the whole realm.
It's quite the evolution for Sinclair. From that desperate fight on the Styx, just wanting to find his mate, to accepting this huge world-shaping responsibility. It shows his core nature, perhaps. That knightly commitment to protect the weak, help those in need.
It goes beyond just following orders or fulfilling an oath. It seems ingrained in him. It defines his knighthood now on a much grander scale.
Yeah, a personal code becoming a universal force.
So if we try to connect all these threads from Grim Dark, you really see how these deeply personal stories, Sinclair's survival, Lyella's escape, their fated love, they don't just happen within the big picture. They actively shape it.
They become intertwined with this grand, world-altering destiny.
Precisely. It stops being just about finding a mate or just completing a service. It becomes about guiding a king, maybe altering a prophecy, and playing a direct role in restoring the magical balance of the dream.
So, thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening to this deep dive? I think Grimdark really shows us that even in these incredibly fantastical worlds with griffins and vampire kings and magic, the core themes are very human, very relatable. Choice, mentorship, finding your purpose, self-discovery.
They resonate.
Yeah, and maybe it leaves us with a provocative thought to chew on. If these individual choices, these acts of courage like Sinclair's Defiance or Lyella's escape, these commitments to guide others, they can fundamentally reshape the destiny of a whole magical world. How much impact can your personal actions, your commitments, your willingness to maybe mentor or guide someone, how much can that truly shape the reality of the world right around you?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your support. For more, visit opheliakey.com. Welcome to the dream. Sincerely, OK.